Welcome to another video, folks. Today we're going to talk about training frequency. We're going to talk about 1 times per week all the way up to 6 or more times per week, and where you should be, where you could be, what are the downsides and upsides to each of those. So starting with 1 times per week, now this is unlikely to have any major impact on performance, on body composition, any major fitness goals that you have. You're probably not going to get there by once a week, if I'm being honest. However, once a week, when it comes to your health, is better than nothing. Once a week, strength training once a week, especially if it's combined with other activity throughout the rest of the week, you're looking at improved health. So your health parameters, whatever, it's resting heart rate, blood pressure, what have you, these things could improve with 1 time per week. Now moving on to 2 times per week, this is when you can start expecting some form of long-term results. So with twice a week, especially if it's well-programmed sessions, you can start seeing very significant results when it comes to muscle mass, strength, fat loss, whatever your goals are. Now, the thing is, with 2 times per week, you have to be very careful with exercise selection. You can't really get away with too many isolation exercises when you're only in the gym twice per week. You have to get an exercise that give you the most bang for your buck. So more back squats, more rows, more shoulder presses, more bench press, more lunges, and less lateral raises, less tricep extensions, less leg extensions, what have you. Now, that's not saying that these isolation exercises don't have a place in your program. However, if you are only there twice a week, most of your time and effort should go into large compound movements that send a large stimulus to your body. Okay, so 3 times per week. 3 times per week, this is gonna be the sweet spot for a lot of you watching this. So it's maybe where you're at right now, but it could also be where you end up staying for the rest of your training career. 3 times per week is very sufficient for a lot of fitness goals. If you think about 3 sessions per week with 4 to 5, maybe 6 exercises per session, that's up to 15 to 18 exercises per week, somewhere in that ballpark, that you can progress for month after month, year after year, and may never need to go up to 4 times per week. 3 times per week is going to be excellent for those of you that have maybe stressful lives outside the gym. So you have kids that are dependent on you, maybe you work at stressful jobs, your hours are super long, maybe you don't get enough sleep. 3 times per week is going to be more than sufficient, because if you go more, you're not necessarily going to get better results. You might just be adding unnecessary stress to your life. Another category of people where 3 times per week can be very effective for is people that are also very active outside the gym. So let's say you don't have a super stressful job or life, but maybe you're also playing for a soccer team. So like you train once a week and then you play 2 games on the weekend. In that scenario, 3 times per week in the gym is going to be more than enough for you. Going to 4, again, is not going to be necessarily the best option, because maybe now you're spread out too thin over 4 sessions per week in the gym plus sport training. So for these kind of people, staying at 3 is ideal for most of the year, and then save the 4 times per week to your off season when you're not playing your sport as much. Now let's jump up to 4 times per week. So this is where those of you that are more serious about your fitness results, that's where you're going to want to be. A lot of times when I'm working with people that are super driven about their fitness goals, I even have to pull them back because they want to be in the gym 5 or 6 times per week. But 4 times per week is going to be really the sweet spot for those kind of people. If you are in a position where you can sleep well, recover well, and these 4 sessions are not adding so much stress to your life that you feel you're just surviving from week to week. If you can realistically fit in 4 sessions per week and you feel good, you still have time to yourself, to enjoy, to socialize, then 4 times per week is going to be excellent. Now jumping up to 5 strength training sessions per week. This is not going to be the answer for most of you. Some of you, if you have the opportunity, so let's say your stress outside of the gym is super low, you don't have a very stressful job, you don't have kids, you can sleep well every night, you're getting about 8 or more hours per night, you can eat well. In that case, 5 times per week, absolutely, it will work. You can get in a lot of work done over the course of 5 sessions per week and get amazing results from it, of course. However, like I said, it's not going to be the answer for most of you if you have stressful lives outside of the gym. Now, one more scenario where 5 times per week could work is for absolute beginners. If you are a beginner and you are inside your first 6 months, maybe to a year in the gym, especially if you don't have an athletic background, the kind of weights you're lifting in the gym, the overall stress that you're putting on your body in the gym is going to be low, because you're not lifting heavy enough weights. And in that case, you could do 5 sessions per week if your lifestyle allows for it. Again, because the stress is super low, you're not putting a huge stimulus per session, so you can get away with 5 sessions per week and you will still get better. The other advantage for 5 times per week is you get to practice the exercises more often. And if you're a beginner, more practice is going to result in more efficiency and better technique and better results down the road. Now, 6 times or more per week, so 6, 7, or 8, is almost never the answer. I can think of a few people that can get away with it, but for the most case, 6 sessions per week is not going to give you what you think. When you're strength training, you don't get the results when you're in the gym. All you're doing is you're applying stress to your body so that you can get a stimulus that forces your body to adapt when you're outside the gym, when you're recovering. So if you're in here always stimulating your body, you're never going to give it the chance to recover, and you're not going to get the results that you want. So 6 or more sessions per week is almost never the answer, especially for natural athletes. Now, if you're an enhanced athlete, you're on, you know what, I don't want to say it because I don't want the video to get banned or demonetized or whatever. If you are on gear, then sure, 7, 8 sessions per week is fine. You have recovery abilities that the rest of us don't have, and so you can get away with more sessions and obviously recover better, get more muscular, get stronger, and so on. The rest of us, however, we're better always staying 5 sessions or less per week. Now, one last category is a floating schedule, and I want to talk about that. Let's say, for example, you work in the airline industry, let's say you work in a hospital, you work shift work. You're not able to have a routine that you stick to in the gym. So in that case, you have, let's say, workout A, workout B, workout C, and you just rotate through these workouts as your schedule allows. So one week it might be 3 sessions per week, the next week it might be 4, the week after that might be 2. Totally fine. Just go through workout A, workout B, workout C, and then workout A, B, C again, as your schedule allows, allowing enough recovery, and again, making sure you're not pushing yourself so hard that the gym is just extra stress and you're not getting anything out of it. So that's all I have for the video for today. Thank you for watching. Let me know if there are any questions you'd like answered in the comments or in my Instagram, and I'd be happy to talk about it in the next video.